Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Gran Turismo 7 Daily Race Race and Strategy Guide. We're off to Autopolis Full Course once again. It certainly must be vying with Daytona as the most overused track for Daily Race on Gran Turismo 7. And unlike my prediction, I believe this was going to be a Group 2 race. We're actually in the Group 4 machinery. It's just 9 laps to get round tyre wear is at times 5, fuel is at times 4. We have the racing medium tyres available and only the racing medium tyres. It's a mandatory pit stop in this one. BOP is on. I think it's a low speed BOP, I could be mistaken in that one. Damage is light, it's a rolling start, slipstream is real, and we do have some settings for this one. It is the usual for Group 4, same as Brands Hatch a couple of weeks ago. So that's partial suspension, the differential and brake balance. For the purposes of this video, I've used the Mustang from Group 4 and I've just kept the default setup for the race that's about to feature. Now before we get into that race, let's take a look at this pit stop. We've got a mandatory pit stop to make and it's always a good idea to check the difference between changing the tyres and not changing the tyres. And also, just to highlight, be very careful, do practice the pit entry for Autopolis. You often see people get this one completely wrong. Basically, you've got the white line there, make sure you don't cross the white line, but just brake as you kind of where the white line starts is pretty much going to see you okay into the pit lane. But yeah, you see lots of people get this one wrong. But let's check out the no tyre change first. Stationary time 1.7 seconds. We come in for the second time if we change the tyres. Usually it's not that much of a difference, but here at Autopolis there is a bigger difference than normal. So 5.8 seconds, that's 4.1 seconds difference overall. Overall your pit loss is going to be 22 seconds if you change the tyres, and if you don't change the tyres you're looking at 18 seconds, 17.9 seconds. Fuel, despite it being at times 4, is not going to be an issue in this one. So that was the information I went into with the race we're about to take a look at here. As I said, we're in the Mustang from Group 4. I kind of thought, you know what, let's actually jump into a car that we know is pretty bad on tyre wear, because we can, so I just test the tyre wear. If we can kind of do the no tyre change in the Mustang, then you can do it in any car pretty much. And I was just interested to see just how bad the tyre wear was going to be. Now we had done some races previously in the previous night in Group 2 and we had the tyre wear at times 5 on the medium tyres. We were able to do easily, you could do 12 laps, you could do as many as 15 laps if you were good on the tyre. So I was kind of thinking, surely this is going to be easy to get the job done without changing the tyres here. But I should have got to see tyre wear in Group 4 is significantly higher than Group 2 in a direct comparison with the sort of same track, same tyres, same tyre wear, which did surprise me a little bit. But yeah, I settled into this one thinking I'll easily get 9 laps out of these medium tyres, and that was the strategy that I was going to go into here. So we're not going to change the tyres when we do eventually make our pit stop. So starting down in P13, I believe. I think a car went off at turn 1, we passed Bahamas and we are stuck behind Tidgney and a train of cars. Now you can see there's a cockroach in front of me. Not talking about Tidgney, I love Tidgney, I'm talking about the car, and I've got a bad feeling we're going to see a lot of those cars this week, because tyre wear is the key in this one. And as we've seen, if you don't change the tyres you can save 4.1 seconds. So this one's going to be all about those cars that are good on tyres. I think it will very much come down to not changing the tyres in this one and using the cars that are going to be good on the tyres. But yeah, we're going to get to lap 3 here. A couple of cars peeled off at the end of lap 1, a couple more cars peeled off at the end of lap 2. We've got a gaggle of cars there fighting with us. I have the same idea as Tidgney. Let's get into the pits and get this pit stop done and dusted. So I'm not going to change the tyres. I didn't think Tidgney would change the tyres, but turns out he did. We've got Shelty, who has pitted ahead of me as well in the Scirocco. And well, they are going to change the tyres, so they started up towards the front, and as we come out the pits here we are going to be ghosted inside Shelty's car. Now I actually thought I was ghosted inside Tidgney's car because we pitted at the same time, but then I just stayed to the outside there. We've got Hogston come down the inside who had pitted the previous lap. Shelty has changed the tyres and you can see how far behind Tidgney is to me, so it was actually 3.6 seconds we emerged from the pits. And obviously we've had a compromise line into turn 1, so that's now down to 3.1 seconds. So you can see the difference there live in the race situation the difference between changing the tyres or not. Remember, we came into the pits behind Tidgeney, so 4.1 seconds, 4 seconds, let's just call it, is pretty much spot on. But this is not what we wanted. Obviously, we came out of the pits there looking for some clean track, looking to put some clean laps in, and we never quite got the space that we were looking for, and that's going to be an integral problem of this race all week. So we get to lap 7, start of lap 8, Tidgeney on the fresh tyres has eventually caught up to us. We're not going to make life too difficult for him. Faster driver, probably a faster car, and he's certainly got better tyres at this point. Why would I fight it? I'm just trying not to get caught by the cars behind at this point. We are up into P6 as we start lap 9, but our tyres are looking very second hand indeed. Sonic in the McLaren goes clean round the outside of me there. Excellent move from Sonic. He's definitely has changed the tyres though, but even so, still a very good move. Round the outside of Autopolis, turn 1 is not an easy move in any situation. But yeah, I was just trying to hold on here for, look where we are, a P1 would be very nice indeed. But these tyres are really struggling. We've got Hogston up ahead in the Megane, struggling on his tyres. Tidgeney, we know, changed the tyres. Sonic's changed the tyres. Shelty is in P1 in the Scirocco. We know he changed the tyres on lap 3, so he did an interesting strategy. I think, you know, change the tyres or get into the pits relatively early and change the tyres, then use the fact that the tyres are cooler towards the end to make them last a lot longer on the second stint. But in saying that, we are now only 4.4 seconds behind, despite the fact we're on very bad tyres. We've got Muscafi coming up behind us in an Audi TT. One of the good things about these early races is you do at least get a little bit of a selection of cars, which is not the case a few hours into the race going live. But holding on here, you can see the tyres are going to last. They are absolutely shot now at this point. We are, well, I reckon we'd be doing easy 53s if we were on half decent tyres, and we're kind of looking at doing 55s towards the end. Bembo is going to go off the track here. He has absolutely no front tyres left whatsoever in that McLaren, pitted at the end of lap 8. Going to compromise me quite badly coming into the last corner. It's going to allow Muscafi to get down the inside. We're going to go free wide, drag race to the line. Muscafi's going to take P6, and yes, we get the P7. Not scripted whatsoever. I can't script that kind of finish, folks. Come on. But yeah, P1 for us in the Mustang. I knew the tyre wear was going to be bad. Pretty short race though, 17.5 minutes. Definitely scope there for an additional lap, I'm sure you will agree. But yeah, let's just talk about the strategy options for this one. We've kind of discussed them so far, but let's just do a wee summary to finish the video off. So first up, you've got the one stop with the no tyre change. Now you do save 4 seconds by not changing the tyres. You also have the flexibility to stop on any lap you want to try and find some clear track, but the kind of nature of the tyre wear and the cars and the track in this one is going to make that quite difficult regardless of what lap you pit on. It's a little bit of trying to get lucky, to be honest with you, with the clear track. Now, tyre wear is going to be an issue for a lot of cars and a lot of drivers, so this strategy is not going to be suitable for everyone. But I think because of the saving of 4 seconds, you're going to see a lot of Renault Megane cockroaches and Citroens, Group 4 Citroens, I think, or any car that's very good on the tyres. That's the 2 best cars I can think of. The Alfa Romeo 4C may well be another option as well, but you're still going to have pretty bad tyre wear towards the end, even in those cars. You've got the one stop with the tyre change as your alternative strategy, so stop between laps 3 and 5. You change the tyres, it will cost you 4 seconds against people not changing the tyres, so that's going to give you probably bad track position as well. Very difficult track to overtake on, but you will have much more grip and pace at the race end to try and get some of those moves done. But as it is, kind of hard to recommend one strategy over the other, because it's going to really just depend on what car you're in and how good you are at looking after the tyres. If you're good at the tyres, if you're in the right car, I wouldn't change the tyres, because I think overall you're going to be about 2 seconds faster. But if you're really bad on the tyres, if you're in the wrong car and you're going to run out of tyres towards the end, it's going to be much better for you to do the tyre change strategy. But that's all the numbers, that's all the information, that's all the advice I can give you on that one. Overall, this race though, it's not the most inspiring. Definitely a lot more they can do with Autopolis. Autopolis does have wet weather, so why not do something with that? An additional lap would be good. A longer race would be good as well to try and open up the strategy options, like the 40-minute race at Suzuka. bit of variable weather in there, a bit of random weather, all sorts of things they could do, but as it is, it's a little bit boring. And we've done Group 4 round here before, we've done Autopolis many times. Now they do usually mix it up, we get Group 2, we get Super Formula, Group 3, Group 4, but it's never the most popular track in the world. But it is what it is. We'll definitely jump in and do some of it at some point, but my gut instinct, this is going to become a Renault Megane cockroach fest, and probably a few Citroens in there as well, maybe the odd Alfa Romeo within a couple of days. But hopefully the video has been useful in some way, shape or form. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye now.